I'm Tanya.
The sound of the clinking glasses and the faint murmur of the crowd faded into the background as I sat in stunned silence at my sister Lily's wedding reception. Tears streamed down my face, but for the first time in my life, they weren't tears of humiliation or inadequacy. They were tears of vindication and relief at finally being seen. Just moments ago, Lily had taken the microphone during her toast and systematically humiliated me in front of everyone we knew. She fabricated stories, mocked my photography career, and even brought up the private details of my failed relationships. The room fell into an uncomfortable silence, and I was on the verge of fleeing when something unexpected happened. Lily's new husband, Ryan, a successful architect from a well-respected family, stood up and walked purposefully towards her. He gently took the microphone from her hand and silenced the entire room. With a calm but resolute voice, he spoke about my talent as a photographer, the beautiful handmade album I'd created for them, and the secret honeymoon photo shoot I'd been helping him plan. As I sit here reflecting on that moment, I'm reminded of how different my life was before this turning point. I grew up in a family where my older sister, Lily, was the star. She was 5 years older, incredibly beautiful, and excelled at everything she did. Our parents, a high-achieving doctor father and a business-savvy mother, always seemed to focus more on Lily's achievements. In our childhood home, the living room was filled with Lily's trophies from dance competitions, academic awards, and pageant crowns. My modest achievements, like getting a good grade in art class or winning a local writing contest, were barely noticed. When Lily turned 17, our parents threw her an extravagant party at a fancy hotel. There were hundreds of guests, a live band, and a custom-made dress that cost a fortune. When my 17th birthday rolled around, I got a small family dinner at a local diner. School was no better. Teachers who had Lily first always compared me to her. One of my science teachers once said, "Lily was so brilliant in this subject. Tanya, you need to work harder." I maintained a solid B average, but it was never enough. Meanwhile, Lily's straight A's were celebrated with trips to expensive restaurants and public praise at parent-teacher conferences. When I discovered photography in high school, I finally found something that I loved. I saved up my money for my part-time job at a local bookstore to buy my first camera. I spent hours learning different techniques, taking pictures of the city streets, and developing my unique style. But when I showed my parents my first photo exhibition at a community center, my father just said, "That's a nice hobby, Tanya. But you should think about a more practical career, like Lily's business major." My personal life was also a struggle. Lily dated the captain of the football team in high school, followed by a wealthy heir in college. I, on the other hand, had a few short-lived relationships. My last boyfriend, Jake, broke up with me after 6 months, saying that I was too insecure. What he didn't understand was that I'd spent my whole life feeling like I wasn't good enough. When Lily announced her engagement to Ryan, it was like a fairy tale come true for her. The engagement party was held at an exclusive country club. I arrived alone, having been single for a few months. Lily Eyre kissed my cheeks and said, "I was worried you wouldn't make it. You look cozy." Her eyes scanned my best dress, which I'd saved up for weeks to buy. But then, Ryan approached me. He asked me about my photography, and when I showed him my portfolio on my phone, he studied each photo with genuine interest. "These are amazing, Tanya. You have a real gift for capturing emotions," he said. It was the first time someone in Lily's circle had recognized my talent. As the months leading up to the wedding passed, Lily's subtle degradations became more and more obvious. She asked me to be a bridesmaid, but then chose a completely different and unflattering dress for me. At the bridal shower, I spent weeks creating a handmade photo album documenting their relationship. When Lily opened it, she just said, "Oh, a scrapbook. How old-fashioned." She then quickly moved on to the next gift, a luxury watch from her friend. The bachelorette weekend in Las Vegas was a disaster. I helped plan the activities, but I was repeatedly excluded. They said there weren't enough spots for me on the helicopter tour because they thought I was afraid of heights. In reality, I'd always loved adventure sports. On the morning of the wedding, things got even worse. I arrived at the hotel suite on time, but Lily made sure I was excluded from as many pre-ceremony photos as possible. She even dictated my makeup look, making me look like a completely different person. During the cocktail hour, I was seated far away from the family table, with Lily's work colleagues. When I approached the wedding planner to ask about it, she said it was a misunderstanding. But I knew it was Lily's doing. Then came the reception. After Ryan's speech, the atmosphere in the room changed completely. People who had previously ignored me now came up to me and complimented my photography. One of Lily's friends said, "I had no idea you were such a talented photographer. I'd love to hire you for my next event." As the evening went on, Ryan asked me to dance. We danced to Wind Beneath My Wings, and he whispered to me, "I couldn't stand by and watch her treat you that way." My younger brother was bullied in school, and I promised myself I'd never be a bystander to cruelty. After the wedding, Ryan explained to me why he intervened. His brother had attempted suicide because of the bullying, and it was a wake-up call for their family. He also told me that his firm was looking for a photographer for a big project, and he wanted me to submit my portfolio. 2 weeks later, I met with Lily and Ryan at their home. We had a long and difficult conversation. Lily finally admitted that she'd been tearing me down to cope with the pressure of always being perfect. She said that it was easier to keep me in a box than to face her own insecurities. In the following months, things gradually changed. I won the architectural photography contract, which led to more high-profile jobs. My parents started showing more interest in my career, and Lily and I began to build a new relationship based on mutual respect. Looking back, that wedding, which I had dreaded as another opportunity for humiliation, became the catalyst for a new beginning. I no longer feel like I'm living in Lily's shadow. I've found my voice, my confidence, and my place in the world.